Hey everyone, I'm back. It's been a little bit, but I decided to make another video. I'm gonna move my keyboard. Of course, I got the Harley Davidson cup with the coffee. It's my birthday today, so I figured I would talk about a gift that I got. And this one's near and dear to me. I tried it about a month ago, and it really hit me. It spoke to me. It's one of those, you always hear YouTubers or anybody that's in the industry talk about that one fragrance they smell, and as soon as they smell it, they get that hit and they just know it's for them. That is what this was for me. You know by the title of the video, you're watching for a reason. This is Dior Sauvage Elixir. And wow, this is just, I am very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. I hope you can see the bottle. Yes, you can. I'm very impressed by what I smelled. So, randomly on a whim, I went on eBay and got 2 carded samples of a Sauvage EDP and this. And mostly I got it for the EDP to try it again because every time I tried it in the store, I was just disgusted by it. It pushed me away so much. Because, you know, when you go into lot stores and you're smelling, okay, I spray this on my skin over here, that over my skin over here, this on there, that over there. You start to get jumbled up messes of smells, and then you go nose blind to everything. And the coffee beans do not work. That's a myth that's been debunked. I forget where I heard that, but some YouTuber or someone said about that. So I got those samples, the carded ones, just on a whim. Like I said, it was like $10, $12. Got them. Sprayed the EDP. I was like, okay, this is definitely smoother than I remember, but that's probably because I had smelled the EDT, and the EDT I know is very harsh and rough. And I had, which is unfortunate, and I think it's going to be my next pickup again, I did have Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, and it's unfortunate because, as you know, that's a Sauvage EDT/EDP interpretation, and it's better for the office casual wear, whereas Sauvage can be cloying sometimes. So that I sprayed it on. I was like, okay, this is nice. This definitely reminds me of, because mostly I had known I didn't smell Sauvage much before I had Luna Rosa Carbon, and then as soon as I hit myself with that Sauvage carded sample, I'm like, wow, this is Luna Rosa Carbon without lavender. Or not in the sense of not lavender, but everybody talks about how Prada, all their lines, they love soapy fragrances, and everybody says that's their strength, and I agree. So it's basically a soapy, cleaner, smoother Dior Sauvage, like everybody says. So if you haven't tried them, I would put them back to back and see which one you like more. Spend that cheaper price for Luna Rosa Carbon, which now it's not super cheap. I got it for about $60. Now it's going for $70, $80, which, spend the premium and get Sauvage, or go lower and get Luna Rosa Carbon. That's ultimately up to you. It's your money. It's your decision. But what I would say and what I will say is that the EDP really stood out to me, and I did like it. It just didn't have that oomph that Luna Rosa Carbon had because of that soapier, cleaner outlook of it, and the less cloying, I guess, outlook. But it's still very, very good. I do like it. As far as Sauvage Elixir, I took the carded sample, sprayed it on myself, and I was like dumbfounded. To me, it smelled like apple cider cinnamon, like sweet. It almost reminded me of like sitting next to a campfire during Christmas with an ultra cinnamony, I know cinnamony is not a word, but super cinnamon heavy, like you 3/6 of cinnamon in apple cider, and you're mixing more cinnamon in that you just dumped in with the cinnamon stick. And oh my goodness, I don't know why, this appeals to me. But in a sense, I'm not the biggest fan of barbershop heavy fougere scents. Not that this is 100% a barbershop fougere scent, but I've never, every time, Eau Sauvage, I smelled Eau Sauvage, dear God, old man. I am not that old yet. Eau Sauvage is definitely, once I get down to 2 fragrances, it's probably going to be Eau Sauvage. Realistically, if I love this for the rest of my life, which I have a feeling I will because it's one of those, it might be, I don't think I can ever get down to below 5 fragrances. I think 5 is where I'd be happy at. Special occasion and year round. And this might be a for life for me. But I received this as a gift for my fiance. Forgive me if you hear any noises. People are downstairs yelling, but the dogs are being goofy. But as soon as I sprayed it, it stood out to me, and I'm like, wow, this is like it I don't know. It's nothing like, and you always hear this if you watch videos about elixir before, Sauvage elixir. It does not smell related to Sauvage. You get that backbone, and you definitely get it if you know what you're thinking and know what you're smelling. But you're not getting Dior Sauvage to a heavy level. And I've seen people say they could have made this a different line, and honestly, they could have. And you can see that indent in the bottom. That's like, I'm looking on my watch to see that. You can see, like, it's not a small indent, like, or anything, but this is 2 ounces, so. As far as bottle design, I think it's awesome. When I unboxed this, I loved it, actually. The unboxing experience is premium because you are spending a premium. And by me spending a premium, I mean my fiance for my birthday, but it's amazing. Of course, metal cap, pressurized atomizer. I do, however, for magnetic caps, to not strain the cap or anything, this is just a stupid thing I do. I just twist the cap off because the magnet will disalign when you twist it. So that's why I do that. And it just comes off easier than just doing that. So that's what I prefer to do. Dior for me is probably my favorite house. Right now I'm wearing Dior Homme Sport 2021. Hopefully I'll do a review on that. I have actually a sample, but I had asked someone for that for my birthday as well because I love that stuff, and I just finished off the decant pretty much. I got a few sprays left. Let's hit it with the notes. Top, we got nutmeg, cinnamon, cardamom, grapefruit. That is what gives that zingy, almost like, it's that cinnamon, I don't know. It's that cinnamon sandalwood mixture. It just gives it a sweetness, but a masculinity at the same time. And I know it doesn't appeal to everybody, but it does to me. So, there's people that love, and there's people that hate this, as I've said, and as has been discussed online. There's people that despise the scent profile because it's too old manish, it smells like crap, it's too powerful. Like, I've smelled people overspraying it. Yeah, overspraying is an issue. No, normal people do not know going nose blind is a thing. So I just love holding the bottle up because I love the bottle. Normal people don't know nose blind is a thing. They just spray. Like, I like to scent. Most people spray for other people, and if it's an upgrade if they like to scent themselves. So they'll go boom, 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 boom. 12 different sprays of Sauvage elixir is diabolical. I really hope nobody that I've ever seen has done that, but I know people have definitely done that. This thing is a room filler. If you want to stand out from the crowd during those colder months or special occasions in a colder... Okay, my thing is winter months, fall months, perfection. Colder spring days, meh. Again, I got this literally a bit ago, so I'm gonna have to do it, but based on the scent profile, that's what I get. And obviously, colder summer nights, I would say, or windier summer nights, one spray, because especially a windy summer night, you're gonna get that projection because of the wind. People are going to smell you because of how powerful this is. And of course, we got the cap. I didn't show you that. This is Christian Dior. Of course, the atomizer. That focus is Christian Dior. Beautiful bottle. Honestly, such a sleek, beautiful bottle design. Now, in the middle, it's just lavender. Understandably, it still has that lavender, and it's a clean backbone. And in the base, we got licorice, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, and Haitian vetiver. That, I think what gives that almost Christmassy vibe is that licorice, nutmeg, cinnamon, cardamom. That mixture, for me, in my brain and my understanding of fragrance, is what gives it that Christmassy, clean, because of that lavender, but very spicy and masculine smell. This is, if you want to smell like a man, if you want to smell actually like you got balls, you got hair on your nuts or something. Usually people say hair on your chest, but whatever. If you want to smell like a man, wear this during these colder months. Overspray at your own risk, I guess. But longevity, I can spray this on my arm and wake up 8-10 hours later if I sleep later, and I still smell it. So that's not an issue. It never has been, and it won't be, because there's stuff about reformulation. My bottle is from 2024. I think late 2024. I haven't had any issues with it personally. From the minimal times that I sprayed it, it still lasts. But this is not going to get much wear this time of year, so I'm not really worried about that. But what I will say is that this thing is a legendary masterpiece, and of every fragrance I've smelled and worn, and of the fragrances I've smelled and worn, Dior, to me, I don't know why, but their fragrances have always stuck with me. They've always made me, there's just certain house connections people have. I've seen people like talk about how they love the House of Prada because it speaks to them, and all their fragrances have that, I want to say, not tinge, but I've heard it talked about. I haven't gone deep into it, but every house has like this signature they just throw into their, I forget what the wording is and everything and what it's called, but they have a signature note they throw in so it can't easily be recreated. And personally, I have trouble getting clones because I prefer the real thing, and it's not just because, oh, look at the cool Dior Sauvage elixir, why don't you get Lattafa Assad? Lattafa Assad, to me, I haven't smelled it, but I don't want a smoother, easier to wear Dior Sauvage. I want Dior Sauvage. So there has to be differences and withhelds being made, I guess. Sometimes it's an acceptable time to get something like a clone. You know, Louis Vuitton, I ordered samples, and I'm going to be doing a blind, obviously not blind reaction, but reactions to those. I think it's Pacific Chill, Meteor A or Meteor or whatever. Imagination, Ombre Nomad, Afternoon Swim, and L'Immensité. Those 6, and I'll be doing a video on those. It's supposed to arrive today, but I'd be doing that video right now. But this, I'd probably still be doing a video for regardless, because this is up there for me. But as far as what speaks to me, and what, for fragrance, what speaks to me, as a man, turning 21 today, actually, going into my older stages of life, I would have smelled this If I would have smelled this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago even, 2 years ago when I was 19, I would not have the appreciation that I do now for this as I would then. I would frankly smell this and probably be like, wow, that's too strong. That's what I would say. And because I have appreciation and understanding for the fragrance community and the fragrance as a whole, I'm able to understand what is valued. Now, would I never get Lattafa Assad? I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm not saying I would go out of my way to get it. If it was gifted to me, I'd probably wear it. It's just, I've heard it's just a smoother version of this. That's it. And my watch is being goofy again. I've heard it's just a smoother version of this. That's all. And that's fine. That appeals to people, and that's fine. Clones appeal to people. There's YouTube channels built off of just clones and affordable clones. Not everybody has money. Not everybody has the money to go dish out. Here, let me get that Louis Vuitton. Let me get that imagination. Here you go, Louis Vuitton. You don't really need this money, but here's $400. To me, I'm not saying I wouldn't get Louis Vuitton. I have not smelled. The only thing close to imagination, and that's the only one I've kind of smelled, was Al Haramain Aqua Oud. Al Haramain Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. That I really like, because it's soapy, it's clean, it's fresh, but it's very sweet, and almost like too sweet in my taste. But I've heard like the green tea note. I do like tea notes because they're very crisp to me. I do like those, and I've heard those are in or that's in imagination. So like I said, when I do the video on that, I will discuss that. But as far as back to what I was saying about clones, I think I only have one clone, and it's a clone of Creed's Millésime Imperial, and this is obviously Club de Nuit milestone. Club de Nuit line needs no introduction. If you know anything about fragrance, you know Club de Nuit Intense Man, one of the best selling clones of all time, probably the best selling clone. And yeah, I mean, it smells like Millésime Imperial. The only issue here is this is very fruity and leaning more feminine in my eyes. This almost smells like something my mother would wear. This appeals to a lot, yes, but in all honesty, this has less C notes. Millésime Imperial has a very heavy C note, but that's a story for another day, I guess. As far as what I think of Dior Sauvage elixir and should you buy it, if you've never smelled it, like anything, go smell it. There's very few things I suggest blind buying. I blind bought a lot of fragrance, and I've gotten rid of a lot of fragrance because of that. For instance, why I sell La Nuit de L'Homme. Love the fragrance, however, I sold it because I do not want a massive collection. Preferably, I'd like to have, 10, 15, 20 fragrances that I can pull all year round. Once one runs out, I decide, okay, is this a for life, or do I not need it again? That's when I'll decide to put other things in my collection. It can be hard. Living in this community is difficult because you're constantly being flooded with content of, this just came out by this designer, this clone just came out, this just came out from this niche house, this ultra niche house just brought out something, Balzac Musk or something. So it's ultimately up to you. The decision's up to you. But again, as I say, sample. It's a wise idea. I appreciate every single one of you. I love this scent, but to go back to the scent real quick before we close out, I don't mean to ramble on, but again, my videos are based on, I try to be discussional, and I appreciate those of you that appreciate that, because it lets me be more open and less scripted about stuff, because that's why I don't edit. Yeah, it's just, to me, a masculine, heavy, not heavy fougere, but definitely fougere in sense or in likeness. And let me know if you guys know any like scents, good fougères, or if I should try the Eau Sauvage Parfum, I think it is, because the Eau Sauvage itself was very, very. I'm okay. I will say this real quick. Tom Ford does not appeal to me, except maybe Noir Extreme, because it's like candier and sweeter. But that's it. That's it. That's the only thing I smelled from Tom Ford that has appealed to me, besides maybe Ombre. I almost said Ombre Nomad. Besides, not Tuscan Leather, it was the other one. Maybe it was no. Was it just Ombre Leather? I think it was Ombre Leather. I'm mixing up Ombre Nomad and Ombre Leather, but I think it's Ombre Leather. I don't know, but that just smells like a mall in 2010 for me. And so does, real quick, Mont Blanc Legend. This is 100% smells like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. Going to the mall way back in the day. Yeah. It's not. I definitely get that from this. This you can get for really, really cheap. It's not expensive. So if you want a daily driver during the summer and spring, it's crisp, cooling, and not offensive, really, go for this. Staying power is not heavy on this. I got this in like 2020, so this is a really, really old bottle. So I'm not gonna get, I think 2021 or 2020 for Christmas by my dad. He also got me one of my personal favorites of all time, Mont Blanc Legend Night. This thing has, I don't know if you can see the juice in there, but there's nothing left. Like there's like 3, 4, 5 sprays maybe. This stuff is like a date night, summer night, cooler night masterpiece. Very, very similar to Prada Luna Rosa Black. If you like that, you will like this. This is just a, this is definitely sweeter and more powdery, just a bit. But I didn't mean to get off track there. But as I said, I'd like to have discussions in the sense of videos, and I appreciate those of you that suggest that I lean more into the discussion side of things. As far as if I think you should buy this, yes, I do think you should sample, of course, but if you're into those more masculine, you want a masculine heavy, you can't find a scent that's like, okay, everything's sweet nowadays, everything is like masculine leaning, or it's not quite masculine enough for me. Oh my glizzy, bro. I don't know why I just said that, but go for Dior Sauvage Elixir. Perfect cold weather staple. Perfect. And in Pennsylvania here, we get all 4 seasons pretty heavily. Summer is hot, winter cold. Sometimes obviously freezing. Fall crisp. That's why one of my fall wears will be this and a Zaro Wanted by Night. But yeah, thank you for all of you watching. This video is a little longer. I don't even know if many of you watched it, but I really appreciate all of you that watch my videos. And please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys as soon as I hit my watch to stop the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.